how do you respond to stress? I'm Darcy Lewis, and today we're going to talk about ways to skillfully respond to stress. 3 ways we're going to talk about. There are several, but 3 ways we're going to talk about today are diaphragmatic breathing, alternative nostril breathing, and something called hookups that is taken from the Brain Gym program. So let's start with the diaphragmatic breathing. With diaphragmatic breathing, we can do 3 things. We can learn to manage our central nervous system. So with simple diaphragmatic breathing, we can switch from our sympathetic nervous system, which takes us to fight or flight, and we can go to our rest and digest nervous system, our parasympathetic nervous system. And it's a good relaxer. The other really magical thing is the diaphragm is like a mushroom cap or an umbrella that sits on top of the ribs like this. It kind of, or on top, underneath the ribs and at the bottom part of your lungs like this. So it's like in here. And then you have your pelvic floor muscles that are down in here. So this is like a turned upside down bowl. And at the pelvic floor, it is, make it shorter in here like this, but it goes on your whole trunk. And the pelvic floor muscles are a bowl that is right side up. So it acts as a container for all your major organs and your core muscles, right? And we consider those actually part of your core muscles. Some people do. And so very important. So what you do up here in your diaphragmatic breathing affects your pelvic floor muscles at the bottom. Isn't that amazing? So the diaphragmatic breathing is pretty important for a lot of different things, and not the least of which is relieving stress. It's good for sleeping. If you're having a hard time getting to sleep, to do a few diaphragmatic breaths, you can go to sleep easier as well. So I will let's do that rather quickly because there's a lot I want to cover here. So what we're going to do is, you need to do more than what we're going to do here. But basically, and actually in the Hollow Body program that I'm certified to as a coach in that program from Mind Valley, they teach that we do 8 breaths in, hold for 7, and 4 breaths out. Now, there are other programs that teach other things. There's no right way to do it, but just to get the air in the bottom of your lungs, that's the secret. Okay, so here we go. And some people breathe from here. This is what you don't do. Breathe from here and breathe actually almost through your neck muscles. We don't do that. Okay, so diaphragmatic breathing. When you breathe in, your stomach goes out. Hold for 7. Out for 4. In for 8. Hold for 7. Out for 4. And that's all I'm going to do because we've got a lot more to cover. And I don't want you to get bored. So, okay, the next thing is alternative nostril breathing. This has been shown to balance the positive and negative ions in our body. So it's pretty important. And if you don't do it, and you need to, sometimes dyslexic tendencies will show up. So it's just a great thing to balance things all out. So I'm going to use both hands because we're going to use both hands shortly when we put this all together. This is a little bit different when we start it to get it going. So this is the way I learned it. So here we go. In through the left, out through the right. In through the right, out through the left. In through the left, out through the right. In through the right, out through the left. In through the left, out through the right. All right. Notice if you feel different after doing that. The third technique, and perhaps you've done this with me before, or you know about it before. This comes from Brain Gym, and it's called hookups. And so what we're going to do, we're going to cross our ankles, and we're going to put our hands out in front of us, cross one hand over the other, whichever way feels right, and we're going to clasp our fingers together and bring it up here to your heart. And just, don't be tight like this, just rest like this. And notice how you feel. Now, you can do this as long as you need to. The longer the better, really. The more stressed out you are, the longer you might need to do this. However, today we're going to stop here because it has a second part. The second part is you put your ankles, you put your feet flat on the floor and take your hands and take your fingertips and put them ever so lightly together. This is a bit of a metaphorical experience, imagining your left and your right hemispheres of your brain coming together in a very peaceful way. So this part is necessary to do as long as the first part. And if you forget to do the second part, it's probably okay. Okay. Now, this is so exciting. You'll only see this here. This is the big finale. And you don't have to do these things this way all the time, but if one is good and the other is good and the other one is good, how about a threefer? Let's give that a go, all right? This is just my own little brain working. Okay, we've still got our ankles crossed. And now we're going to cross our hands with our little index fingers. And we're going to do alternative breathing, also diaphragmatically, right? A threefer. So let's see, how did we start? Let's start with the right nostril closed, breathing in through the left. And this is a lot to remember. I'm not saying you have to do this all the time, but this is for giggles, and also it's going to be very powerful. So breathing in through the left with the stomach going out. Let's do the little pause too. We might as well. And then out through the right. In through the right. Pause. Out through the left. Pause. In through the left. Pause. Out through the right. In through the right. Now I'm breathing much better than I was before. In, out through the left. In through the left. Pause. Out through the right. A couple more times. In through the left. In through the right. Out through the left. In through the left. out through the right. Voila! There you have it. Never before done on camera or probably anywhere else. Diaphragmatic breathing, alternative nostril breathing whilst doing a hookup. And, this is the best way to do a hookup, but there are many different adaptations, and this is one of them. So, thanks for watching.